On July 11th, a violent crash erupted at a construction site in the high-tech zone of Xian city of Shaanxi province. Video footage shows workers spraying security guards with fire extinguishers and beating one guard to the ground with a shovel. Witnesses revealed that the conflict arose when the construction site owner hired security personnel to forcibly remove workers without settling their wages. As China's economic downturn intensifies, the manufacturing sector is facing significant challenges. Throughout July, numerous incidents of wage protests and public unrest have erupted across the country. Issues such as wage arrears, employment fraud, and labor disputes are emerging in many sectors such as construction, education, and healthcare. On July 14th, in Teng County, Guangxi, slaughterhouse operators brought live pigs to the county government in protest. The issue was the local government's 100 to 200 yuan disinfecting fee for each pig transportation vehicle. One online commenter sarcastically remarked that butchers can no longer slaughter pigs privately. They must now hand them over to the government's cronies to do it under the guise of respecting safety. The result of surrendering rights is that the public is relentlessly exploited until they reach their breaking point. Another user mocked, "There are already enough live pigs in the county government, and now they bring more? It's like pigs everywhere." On July 16th to the 17th, hundreds of workers at the Zhejiang Jiaxing Golden Joy Dyeing and Weaving Company went on strike, protesting the company's failure to compensate workers after relocating its factory. During the strike, workers used barrel carts from the workshop as barricades to block the factory gates. One person commented, "The relocation is just an excuse. It's actually a shutdown and a runaway." Another added, "I know that workers at dyeing factories are treated terribly. Aside from the Chinese New Year and National Day, they work 12 hours a day in high-temperature workshops year-round." On the night of July 15th, in the Sina Oasis residential complex in Xianyang, Shaanxi, citizens took to the streets after 2 consecutive days of power outages in 43 degrees Celsius heat. They blocked roads with shared bicycles in protest. A person speculated that it's probably another project that hasn't been connected to the proper grid, but is using temporary construction electricity. The extreme heat and heavy load just overwhelmed it. On July 12th, in Shenzhen, hundreds of people were brought in by a recruitment agency to apply for positions at the company Amphenol, only to find that they were only hiring a few dozen people, sparking discontent among the potential workers, who then subsequently blocked the company's gates. Workers on site reported that they had all registered their ID numbers and phone numbers, and after the recruitment agency compensated each worker 200 yuan, they gradually dispersed. One worker showed a reporter his phone balance, which was just 3 yuan. Many people commented, "Gen Zs are not to be messed with. Well done. If all Chinese people were like this, there would be hope. While 200 yuan isn't much, they reclaimed their dignity." On July 10th, workers at the Renrenle supermarket in Xian staged a protest at the supermarket entrance, demanding payment for overdue Social Security contributions and denouncing its parent company, the state-owned Xian Chujiang Cultural Investment Group. According to the employees, in order to protect itself, Chujiang Cultural Investment Group sold 13 subsidiaries of Renrenle to shell companies for 1 yuan each, ensuring only the executives received their salaries, while regular employees were left with long-term unpaid wages and overdue Social Security contributions. On July 9th, in Changzhou, Jiangsu, workers seeking unpaid wages tracked down their employer, who had failed to pay them for work done 3 years ago on a school project. The workers tried to control their emotions, warning each other not to lose it, while loudly confronting their employer, who had fled without negotiation. They shouted, "You ran away with no negotiation back then. How long has it been since the money you owed in 2022? You're still saying you're figuring it out. Who would believe you?" On July 14th, a car owner in Changchun, Jilin, parked his vehicle in front of a Li Auto dealership to protest, with a sign on the car reading, "Airbags didn't deploy, Li Auto." Video footage shows a significant portion of the car's front wheel was damaged. One user humorously remarked, "Li Auto tells you, wrong crash location, try to crash in a different spot." Another commented, "Congratulations to the car owner for paying the price for gaining his own awareness." One person remarked that since the beginning of this year, there have been increasing cases of public resistance across various regions, and it feels as if people are being pushed to their limits. However, the CCP's brutal policies have not changed, and in fact, they have intensified. In a country where you need ID to purchase even kitchen knives, white paper, and lighters, the harsh reality is that most lower-class citizens lack the power to fight back when faced with injustice. On July 16th, in Zhengzhou, Henan, The family members of a worker at the Lugo coal mine were sprayed with high-pressure water cannons by security guards while protesting in front of the mine. The incident occurred after a worker passed away from overwork due to long hours of strenuous labor. The mine refused to offer compensation, prompting the victim's family to protest for several days, only to be met with violent dispersal by security forces. On July 14th, a shocking incident circulated on Chinese social media. In a case of police brutality, a man in Yueyang, Hunan, was pursued by 6 police officers to his home for not wearing a helmet while riding his motorcycle. The police officers then sprayed pepper spray and beat him with batons, leading to his death. Subsequently, the police were detained by angry villagers, who prevented them from leaving. Authorities sent large numbers of officers to the scene and forcibly removed the 2 police officers. Videos circulating on social media show the victim lying on the street while paramedics attempted to save him, but later abandoned the effort. Several public security officers were present, and a crowd of villagers gathered, with some emotionally confronting the officers. The villager who filmed the video claimed the victim had a heart condition, and yet the police still used batons on him. Subsequent footage showed a large group of special police in black uniforms confronting villagers. Locals flooded the internet to post their grievances and demand justice for the victim. The following day, a large number of villagers took to the streets with banners to support the victim's family. The incident spread quickly on social media, triggering public outrage. Many users denounced the police's actions, with one stating, "Chasing him home and killing him, this is mafia-style behavior. It's murder. The scum has already entered the regular forces." After the incident, local authorities confirmed the death of a middle-aged man. However, their explanations for the cause of death were inconsistent and contradictory, including claims such as died after being interrogated by the police, died after being chased to his home for running a red light, and the victim had pre-existing health conditions and the temperature was high. Many people dismissed the official explanations. On Western social media, people expressed their frustration, saying, "Now the police dare to chase people home and beat them. The murderer is being protected. Truly a powerful nation." They say the mandatory helmet rule is for your safety, but when they beat you to death, they say the person was provoking trouble. On July 16th, there were reports that the local government had compensated the victim's family with 1 million yuan. Another person pointed out that many prisoners in China's prisons, eager to earn credit for a sentence reduction, act as online armies or 50-cent soldiers on overseas platforms. These individuals are paid to spread pro-Chinese communist messages and attack critics online. They turn a blind eye to the suffering of China's lower classes and even mock the victims. Their job is to attack those spreading the truth, but they dare not reveal the real situation. Facing the most brutal regime in the world, many powerless citizens have no choice but to risk their lives to fight back. Do these soldiers in prison have this courage? On July 12th, Taiwanese anti-communist influencer Ba Zhong released a video on his social media in which a young man named Zhang Qiyuan from Hebei sought his help. Zhang was summoned by the local police after criticizing Xi Jinping's dictatorship in a live stream, and issued a statement saying he will not take his life or give in. As of now, Zhang is missing. Ba Zhong said, "This anti-communist young man has disappeared. He reached out to me on July 10th for help. If he's gone, please remember him. Zhang Qiyuan."
本人张其元在家里。
On July 10th, Zhang recorded a video stating, "I'm at home, and if I don't reply to your messages within 24 hours, it means the National Security Agency, the Cyberspace Administration, or the local police station has found me." Zhang authorized Ba Zhong to release this video, affirming it as proof of his presence in China. He filmed scenes near his home, stating, "I am in China and I publicly oppose Xi Jinping." Zhang emphasized, "Saying that Xi Jinping is a dictator in the live stream is my personal opinion. If you see me confessing it's wrong on TV, it's fake. It means I've been threatened." He further said, "That would be due to threats. Ba Zhong, you can use this video to slap them in the face." He then declared in the video, "I, Zhang Qiyuan, declare that I will not take my own life. This afternoon at 5 p.m., I will go to the Dongfang police station in Baoding City, and this video can prove it." According to Chinese netizens, the Chinese government is in a sensitive period of maintaining stability, with authorities conducting strict identity checks at subway stations in Beijing, Hebei, and other regions. The related departments in Hebei have already intervened in this matter, and it is unlikely to be resolved easily. There will definitely be a severe crackdown. Xi Jinping has increasingly become the target of ridicule and criticism, both domestically and internationally, with the Chinese government constantly searching for these critics. From Hong Kong, a young YouTuber named Yi Cui-jun began making satirical videos about Xi Jinping from around the age of 14. At 15, he was taken by Hong Kong's National Security Police for producing insulting videos. The police charged him with incitement. By 16, he fled to the US and applied for political asylum. During last year's Halloween, young people in Shanghai dressed as Winnie the Pooh and Emperor Xi, with some wearing headgear resembling surveillance cameras, a satire of the omnipresent surveillance system. These youths later faced retaliation from the CCP. One person commented, "Today, many young people in China are truly courageous. They know the evil of this regime and the huge risks of public resistance. Their courage and motivation come from having seen the truth through VPN and uncensored news. This information shattered their brainwashed views from childhood, causing them immense shock and anger, while helping them overcome their fear. This is what the CCP fears the most." On July 15th, the CCP's National Internet Identity Authentication System was officially launched, and the Internet ID system came into public attention. Although the authorities have not disclosed a comprehensive timeline for mandatory implementation, the strict Internet control policy has sparked widespread public concern and dissatisfaction. Recently, anonymous flyers opposing the system began appearing on the streets of Qingdao. The flyers urged people to voice their concerns to authorities and warned that the system might be used to suppress human rights defenders and silence dissenters. One flyer read, "Once Internet ID is implemented, all online accounts will fall under unified regulation, and account suspensions, group chat bans, and speech regulations will become more efficient and convenient." Photos of the Qingdao flyers soon spread on social media, with some people commenting, "This is an internet revolution that's not openly discussed. Those who remain silent will be cooked. 1989 is not a warning, it's a prophecy." The CCP's internet measures were jointly released by 6 departments, including the Ministry of Public Security and the Cyberspace Administration, and have been in effect since July 15th. The document stipulates that the services on online platforms require real name registration or identity verification. The government claims that this system helps curb the excessive collection and misuse of user information, describing it as a bulletproof vest for personal data. However, many people are skeptical about the official narrative. Mr. Zhou, a resident of Nanchang, Jiangxi, stated, "Although the system is being rolled out under the guise of implementation, it already implies a forced requirement. Whether it's social media, shopping platforms, or government apps, all must eventually connect to the national certification system. If they don't, they could be removed or placed under review. In the future, all your online activities in China will be linked to a national certified identity, and if your account is frozen, you'll effectively disappear from the internet." Mr. Chen from Guizhou, Guangdong, bluntly remarked, "This move is designed to shut the mouths of the people." He sarcastically suggested, "Why not nationalize everyone's QQ and WeChat accounts and let the government control chats and social media, deciding what people can say?" Mr. Zheng from Nanjing, Jiangsu, organized a response of non-cooperation to the authorities' push for this system. "I'll stop using WeChat for work notifications, avoid DingTalk app for clocking in, and used silence and discontinuation to oppose these coercive measures. If everyone stops using these platforms, it won't be us that can't last, but the apps and the companies behind them." Many people pointed out that most apps in China already require real name registration linked to mobile phone numbers. The introduction of the National Internet Identity Authentication System is seen as merely unifying platform management, allowing the authorities to more easily block accounts, track, and even suppress rights defenders. A person pointed out that this is not about protecting information, but about data centralization and tagging, putting everyone into a digital prison. Mr. Song from a southern city noted that many of the CCP's regulatory policies are initially promoted as voluntary, gradually transitioning into suggestions, and eventually becoming mandatory. He compared it to the analogy of boiling frogs in the kettle, where at first a 30-degree temperature goes unnoticed, but by the time it reaches 60 or 90 degrees, it's too late to react. Observers have also found the promotion of the system unusually low-key. After state media announced the policy 2 weeks ago, there was minimal follow-up before its official implementation on July 15th. This low-profile launch is typical to reduce public awareness, allowing the policy to take effect before gradually increasing its enforcement standards, thereby minimizing public backlash. A tech industry insider commented, "This is a typical national-level digital control system. From an efficiency standpoint, it is undoubtedly one of the most stringent measures globally, but it is still in the testing phase. At the moment, public response is particularly crucial. Otherwise, it could easily become a new tool for information censorship." Analysts noted that China's big data surveillance system is already one of the most sophisticated and comprehensive in the world. This move not only further integrates data and enhances monitoring efficiency, but also serves as a psychological deterrent to the public, an act of intimidation. No matter how advanced the technological system, it has its boundaries and limitations. These limitations are influenced by people, the very ones who control the system and technology. As these individuals increasingly access information beyond the Great Firewall and learn more of the truth, they may evolve into unstable factors in the eyes of the CCP. So the government seeks to use intimidation and coercion to make the public submit in fear, resorting to self-censorship and self-isolation. This makes things much easier for the CCP. However, if the lower classes are driven to desperation, becomes fearless, and protest, then all of the CCP's methods will be ineffective. On July 13th, a person posted a video showing a man lying under a tree near the Pearl River Plaza in Guangdong, with a loudspeaker continuously playing the message, "The party central, my family is dead." One person commented, "Has he been driven mad by something? This year really feels like the peak of protests." Another remarked, "There are plenty of these people in Guangzhou and Shenzhen. The police don't care anymore. Their ID cards and bank cards have been sold long ago. Throwing them in jail is just a way of getting a few meals." Others commented that, whether he was venting his frustrations or had given up on his life, this man was the one that the Chinese government fears the most. Because he is no longer afraid and has fully awakened, his words hit the mark.